What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the HeatBoys Mecha Donatello. So this is the final in the series of 4 Mecha Turtles from HeatBoys. I looked at 2 of them, and for whatever reason I never looked at the Raphael. So that one just kind of slipped me, but this is the final one in the series. And we do get a small reward. We get to put together the little turtle van. Now that was needed to be assembled. It was a model kit, and it had some water slide decals. So I did that off camera. I'll show you that a little bit later. But let's take a look at the thing. By the way, thanks to Carl S. for sending his copy for review. Mine still isn't here. I'm planning to get this from the Chosen Prime. But look at the detail on this. This is probably one of my favorites so far. Just the way it looks. He's got these little communicators on each side, a little antenna here, gold paint there, white for the eyes. You do have the purple bandana back here. He's also got little boosters or whatever they are on the back of the head. Nice metallic blue, purple, pink, gold on the chest. All this nice painted detail. It's fully painted. Lots and lots of die cast. It's very heavy, filled with die cast. The inner structure of the legs, of the arms, of the body, all die cast. The backpack die cast. Very, very solid and premium feel to this thing. Continuing down, you have the D Donatello. Nice belt there, which can stow a lot of the weapons. We'll take a look at that. A little bit of brown paint here. Green, dark green, gold, light green, purple. Lots of shades of purple. I mean, they really went all out with the paint and the detail on it. The shell also looks really nice. Really well detailed. Let's go over the articulation. The head is on a ball joint. So it goes up to there, down to there. You do get side to side, and it rotates around. The neck itself has a lot of articulation, so you can get the neck all the way down, combining that with the head. He can kind of tuck his head in like a turtle, and he can extend his neck like a turtle. So really just not only good articulation, but very apropos for this character. I love how that neck works. It just feels right. We have shoulder rotation here on a friction hinge. Nicely tolerance hinge there. Out to the side, you have to move this shoulder pad out of the way. That's on a friction hinge that rotates independently. You can get that out of the way. Let's get this up out of the way. And then you get the shoulder up to there. And then when you put the arm back down, you just have to come in here and shift this in to get it back over the shoulder. Rotation at the bicep. You have a double jointed elbow, and I'm just going to show you back here. There's lots of hidden details. It exposes the little piston, and then as you keep going, you get a little elbow pad. Just beautiful stuff there. You know, it's so high professional. It's like a combination of 3-0 Flame Toys and, Gundam. They just really have a premium sense to it. Rotation at the wrist, in and out movement at the wrist. Fingers are individually articulated at 1, 2 pins. You have a splay out option here. And I mean, just really nice articulated fingers, except there's only 3, which makes sense for the turtle. So they work really, really well. Coming down to the waist, we have an ab crunch here. You got to move this little ab piece out of the way. And you can get a crunch here. It gets all the way down to there. I'll show you from the back because there's some detail back here. You can't even see it with the turtle shell on, which who's going to display this without the turtle shell? But just to show you what's there, I mean, that's attention to detail. It's painted and sculpted underneath the back, which is covered by his shell. So you're never going to see this. And then you have another crunch down here. That one's a little bit smaller. But again, painted detail underneath this piece, which you're, again, never going to see. I love that they did that. It's just such attention to detail there. It really is nice. Now that we have the shell off, speaking of the shell, I do, by the way, find that he's a little bit heavy. So if you don't pose him back on his heels, he can fall over. But later we'll show you the stand, which makes things a lot easier. Here's the shell. There is a crunch here. So if you do have the crunch engaged, you can crunch to this as well. We can open up this piece here. We can open up this piece here on the side. as well as this piece here on this side, and then this center piece. And there's a little cockpit there. And there's a little seat. You can take the translucent, mini Donatello, plug him in there. It's a little unstable, but you can get it in there. And you got to make sure you get the feet all the way in, otherwise it's not going to fit properly. And maybe my hands are too big for this. Come on. All right, there we go. And then you can rotate this around, and now he can sit in there. I just find that to be so cool. Now, all of them have had that feature. I just think it's such a neat feature. All right, so we can close that up, and now we've got his shell. And we can put that here. Plug that in. It plugs in very securely. And if you use that app crunch, again, make sure you have this open. If you use that app crunch, you can bend down the shell. Like, that's amazing to me. All right, coming down to the legs, you have a little piece here that will move out of the way, which allows you to get the leg all the way up so it doesn't collide there. So again, another nice little detail, because you get this look when it's down. And you can still lift it with it there, but I do recommend you remove that out of the way so it doesn't get scraped up. Back to here. Back is a little bit more hindered than forward. Oops, let's get that closed up. This will actually kind of lock into place down here. Once you lock it into place, it is kind of hard to get it out, so you might need a spudger there. Out to the side on friction, holds all that heavy die cast. Nice tight joint there. Rotation at the thigh around a universal. You have a double jointed knee, so as you move the knee, this knee pad starts to transform on its own. So you have this lower knee pad, upper knee pad, and then there's a joint here and here. So you can get that all the way up to there. And this thigh piece comes down. You can see it's slid down and exposes more painted detail underneath. Incredible. Incredible stuff. For the ankles, you have a rotation. You have an ankle tilt. Tilt this way. You have a toe tilt. Forward and backward. All right, now let's take a look at the accessories it comes with. And it really comes with a ton of stuff. More than any action figure I've really looked at. So that's going to be the majority of this review. But to make my life easier, let's bring in the stand. And even the stand is just beautifully done. You can open up this right here. You might need a spudger to get it open, but just pop this open. And you'll see inside, you got nice storage. You can put all the accessories in here that don't fit on his person. Not the big ones like, his bow staff, but everything else, little, adapters, accessories, ammo clips, all that can go in there. So I find that to be very, very smart. I just love stuff like that. Right? So you don't have to put anything in the box. Everything can be displayed with the figure either on him or in there. You also get two little poles here. So you get a long one and a short one. I'm going to put the short one in because I want him to be closer to the bottom of the stand. You can screw that in. It's die cast. This is a painted black die cast. And that looks nice and secure. And then you get two adapters to attach them. One is angled upwards and one is straight. I'm going to put the straight one on. But you do get two of those, depending on how you want to display them. I just want to have them come straight. And you can put that on there. Come to the back here. I do recommend you remove the shell. And you'll have a little piece here, and I've already removed it. So I'll just show you what that looks like. Here's the filler piece, and that goes right there. So you want to pull that filler piece out, and we can bring him into here and get that plugged in. And it's a really tight fit, so you might need to kind of get it wiggled on there, but it's very secure once you get on there. So that works really, really well. All right, let's break back in the shell. And on the shell, we're going to lift up on this panel. Again, die cast piece. Just opens up that port. so we can use this. This will fit above, on top of the stand. It fits just perfectly above that. And I do recommend be careful with this. It's easy to get that kind of pushed in. So you want this, you know, above his chest, like that. And now we can start getting some of the accessories on here. I'm going to start with some of the more, basically the accessories intended for mounting things. So you have this little die-cast bracket, really heavy duty thing. That's going to fit right in the back of his shell. Put that right there. And now we can stow some weapons and accessories. And first we'll take a look at these two armatures. So we get this one. This is actually two pieces. You have this little radar dish piece and this armature. You can plug that in there. If you open this up, you can see it's beautifully painted inside with gold, silver, and red. And honestly, I don't know what this is. I'm going to imagine it's a radar dish or some kind of laser. I don't know. But that will plug in right here, like that. Then we can take the other one, and it looks like this. And this one has a little claw or grabber piece. That'll plug in right there. And we can plug that one in the other side. And there you go. You've got some mechanical arms to help him deal with the bad guys. And these are posable, by the way, the fingers. You can also rotate, obviously. All right, but let's keep going. We also have the bow staff. And you do have to install these pieces right here. They're very tight. So I kind of did it off camera, but these go over the end. They kind of make it look more mechanical, to be honest. It looks very good. It's painted. You're supposed to put a little piece right here in the middle. And unfortunately, I have a really hard time getting this on here. This is what allows you to plug it into his hand. So this is going to go right here. Since this isn't my figure, I'm not going to force it on there. It was very, very tight fit. But what that does allow you to put in his hand nice and secure. But the good news is you don't necessarily have to. You know, he could still hold it without that. Now, if you wanted to be, you know, it to be very, very secure, yes, you would need to put that adapter on there. But I find that he can hold it without that. So ideally, if you are going to be putting this in the hand and you want it to be secure, you're going to want this adapter. But we can also take this and put it right there. So his little armature can hold it kind of above his head. Or my preference, if you're not going to use this weapon, which I probably will if I was displaying it, but you can come to the back here. And right here on the side of the shell, we've got a little place to plug in an adapter. So we're going to grab this. So this is actually, again, two pieces. You've got this little clip for the bow, and then you've got this little adapter. So that's going to plug in right here. This will plug in right here. And now we can put the bow on. I like to fold it up so it's, you know, kind of off the ground. And then you can clip this in there, and now you can hold on to that. You know, however you want to display it. So again, nice storage option for that. We also get his rifle, which is really, really cool. It has tons and tons of accessories. Just this alone is an amazing accessory. So lots of nice paint and detail. It does come with a bipod. I was corrected in my comments. It's not a tripod. It's a bipod because there's only two legs. But you know, you could have him prone using this. I don't think I ever would, but you can do that. You can also fold this back. And I recommend be careful with this piece here. It doesn't feel like it's going to break, but because it's so tight, I just recommend caution. But anyway, you can store the bipod back like that. We can grab the scope, which again, painted and detailed beautifully. This will plug in right here. You can slide that down. Now it has that look. And this, of course, will go into his hand. You can't hold it. You can get him holding it with both arms, double wielding it. You can get it up to his eye. You can get it up to his shoulder, however you want to do it. But there's lots of other things you can do with this too. So I'm going to show you that. This also comes with ammo clips. So you get ammo clips like this. It comes with a little adapter here. I'll show you that in a minute. But these, make sure you have this lever pushed forward. And you can plug this in here. It goes like this. And there you have the ammo clip. Now these are just painted, kind of aesthetic looking bullets. They don't actually, move. But it's a really nicely detailed ammo clip. You could take this and you can plug it into here, this little adapter. And then these can be stored right here on his belt. And you do get 2 of those. So we'll put both of those on. Then you get a third one. And the third one comes with actual metal bullets. These are metal, die-cast metal. I don't know if they're painted gold, it's just gold die-cast. But you push that in there. And you can load 4 bullets in there. And then you're going to take this, and again, make sure your lever is pushed forward. Plug in your ammo clip, and then you can pretend. So you're going to pull this back, and it ejected the bullet, which is pretty cool. You can see that it's ejecting the bullet. That's a very crazy feature to include. I just think that's so cool. I'm going to leave the bullets out for now. Again, make sure it's forward. But we can also mount this, just like we did for the bow, on the back. So you'll need another adapter piece. So we'll grab this right here, come to the back, and this will plug in. Again, this is 2 pieces, but make sure you have this. This will plug in right here. And then you can clip that right here. I guess fold the bipod down, but it'll clip right here on the front of the gun. And you can put it either way. I guess it makes more sense to put it this way with the scope in the back. Again, you could do whatever you want, honestly, but I just love that this stores and you can kind of pose it however you want. All right, next we have the railgun, which is, again, beautifully detailed and sculpted. All sorts of beautiful paint. This thing lights up. There's a little bit of assembly to do. When you first get it, you've got this translucent piece. That's going to plug in right here. Make sure you have the wider part in the back. And then you're going to plug this silver piece on the bottom. And now it's fully assembled. It does require batteries. So if you open up this panel right here, 3 LR44s will go into there. And you can close that up. And it comes with a little piece of pizza. I think if you get all 4 turtles, you get all 4 pieces, so you can make the full pizza. This is a quarter of the pizza. So I don't have all 4 here, but I imagine they go together. Anyway, so you're going to bring this up, touch it to here, and you can see it lights up. You have yellow down here, you have pink up here, and you have more yellow down here. Let me turn off some lights. So here's how it looks. Really, really gorgeous. If you touch it again, you get this. It's really impressive stuff. And this is lit up also, this little screen. Touch it one more time, you get the shut off feature. And this we can use a couple different ways. This can be mounted onto this armature. So get that plugged in right there. Then we can come back to here, and we do have to remove this, unfortunately, but we'll replace that with this. And now he's got an over-the-shoulder cannon, which I think is very, very cool. Really, really nice. We can also take this, and we'll take that off again. I'll put this one back on. And then you can take this rifle unplug that from there. And you can combine these together. So you're going to take this, open this up, unplug this part from here, make sure that translucent piece comes off. We're going to unplug this from here, the little adapter piece. Then we're going to take the gun, unplug the scope from the top. So it should be looking like this. This is going to fit in on the bottom here, and we need an adapter for it to attach. So you're going to grab this adapter. You can fold these back again. This will go right here on the front of the gun. And let me just make sure I have it the right way. Yeah. And on the back of the gun, we're going to install an adapter here, which looks like this. So this will slide into here. This is a little tough to get out once you put it in. So just be forewarned about that. But that will slide right into there. You got to push it all the way up, otherwise it won't work. Okay, so that's how we're looking. This will plug in right here. And then this will plug in on the front. It's very secure once you put it together. And we can reassemble this. Now this is a little bit tough to get off, so I would just recommend a spudger to get in here, pop out the little clear adapter piece, and then take this, and that's going to plug in here to complete the look. But yeah, there's your rifle. You can plug this back into the hand if you want, right here. And he's got a strong enough joint that I don't even need to close the fingers and it still holds. All right, the final gun we get is this little arm blaster. Comes with this little adapter here. You're going to plug that in there. You're going to open this up, flip out the gun, and look at that. Looks really nice. This will come and mount right here under the arm. And you can really put it anywhere. There's ports everywhere on this guy. There's actually ports down here as well. They're a little challenging to get removed, but if you use a spudger, you can get in here. There we go, and expose this port. So there's plenty of places to plug things in. So you could take this and remove this from the arm. And if you wanted to use one of these round pegs, plug that in, and then you could have it here. So lots and lots of options. You know, it's really up to you. All right, next we have the shotgun, as they call it. I think it's a handgun, but they call it a shotgun. Lots of nice painted detail on there. It does have a moving, you know, shotgun action reloading piece there, which is nice. I don't know what you call it. And this will fit in the hand. And just tab in right here, just like the other weapons. Or if you prefer, you can use the adapter. Adapter looks like this. Make sure you have this slid forward. You can clip this on right there. And actually, I'm going to do it the other way. And if you come to the inside here, we can plug this in right here. And again, you could do this however you want. It's really up to you. Right, you can plug that in there, or in some of the pictures they've shown it plugged in here, kind of like he's going to draw it from his leg. You can really do it however you like. For the least amount of like interference, it makes sense to put it on the leg. But all right, the last kind of weapon we get is this guy, this little robotic turtle. It's so cool. I mean, I love that they did this. There's a little spot right here. I have this removed already so you can see. There's a panel there, but if you take that panel off and you grab this thing, we can use one of those adapter pieces I showed you earlier. And we have extra, so you have plenty to use. And then this will plug into here. And now he becomes a little gun, which is very cool. He's got a gun on his tail as well, and he's got a gun up here. So you can rotate that. Let's go over his articulation. The head is on a hinge, goes up and down. The front camera also can swivel up and down. It doesn't rotate. Oh, it does rotate. So you can rotate the head side to side. Arms can go in and out on a hinge and a ball joint, so you get lots of movement on that, and you can rotate it on the ball joint. Legs go down to there and fold up. They purposely fold up like this. All the legs have the same movement, but if you fold them up like this rear tail can fold up as well, and there's 2 joints on that. But if you fold it up like this, kind of get the head pointed down, there's a little spot right there, and we can plug that in here. And now we've got a shield. And if you're going to use the shield, you can put this on here, cover up the hole, or you can have the shield with the gun on it. Again, lots and lots and lots of options here for display. All right, and I did lie, there are more weapons here. We get this kind of bendy wire and this grappling hook. So if you open up the grappling hook, looks like this. And I would be careful with this. This feels a little bit more fragile than the entire rest of this figure, but you can get this kind of bent however you like. If you open up the turtle shell, you can plug this in here and now pretend that, he's grappling something with the turtle, which is pretty cool. You can also, if you take the turtle off and pull this out, we can take this, fold this up. And again, recommend caution with this piece. This will fit right here inside and can close up the turtle shell and hide that away. I imagine this will also roll up and fit in here. I don't feel comfortable putting it in here because, again, not my figure, but I believe this can be rolled into a circle and fit in here as well, which very, very cool attention to detail. Just the fact that everything hides away, to me, is just such a nice touch. All right, now let's get in close on the head because we do have some features here. If you open up the top of the head, you just slide off this little panel. I guess easier said than done, but there's a little battery compartment in there. LR621s, you get 2 of them. And if you put that back in there, and we grab our trusty piece of pizza. So there are the light up eyes. That looks beautiful. If you hit it again, you get a pulsating eyes. Hit it one more time, it turns off. All right, well, now one other thing you can do is attach his face mask or his goggles, which look like this. Beautifully detailed. It looks like a Nintendo controller almost. But there's 2 little clips here. This is the only thing on the entire figure I feel doesn't feel that robust, but it's supposed to clip in. There we go. And now I have it on there, and if you put the goggles down, if the light up eyes are on, you're obviously not going to see it. So I recommend, turn off the lights. Now these eyes don't turn off by themselves in this mode, so you do want to turn them off, but there you go for that. That's very cool. Such a nice option. If you don't like it, you can just kind of fold it up. And before I forget, one other feature here on the head is you can open up the mouth. So you can display them like that. I think that's a cool option as well. All right, another accessory we get is the soft goods cape. Has a digital camo print on this side and then purple on this side, obviously for Donatello. And there's a wire up here, so you can kind of close this around. And you can kind of do this however you want, but this will fit around. And then there's a button to attach it. And we'll get this around and plug that in. And you can kind of display this, windswept or whatever. But I find that to be pretty cool. I don't think I would display with this because I don't remember ever having this, unless you're talking about the comics. All right, and just in case those accessories wasn't enough, we also get a Build-A-Figure turtle van. And you get one in color and one in translucent green, along with a bunch of little figurine turtles. So you'd have to put this together. This one actually also requires you do some water slide decals. This one doesn't. I did that off camera just because it was, very small and fine work. But You do get two sets of these turtles. You get one in solid colors. They're just done in one color plastic. But there's Leonardo. And I'm doing them in the order which they were released. But here's Michelangelo. Here's, and they're really small, but here's Raphael. And last but not least, we have Donatello. And we get the same thing for the clear. We get Leonardo, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Donatello. So let's set those aside and let's take a look at the Vans. So this one, you can see it's got 3 water slide decals. You got Foot Stinks, Turtle Power, and I think it says Cowabunga. I can't actually read that one. On the back, we got 2 taillights and this little strip. I messed this one up and then it dried, so I couldn't move it. So that's just proof that it was water slide decals after all. And then on this side, those same 3 we saw on the other side. On the front, we have the Turtle, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the wheel, painted headlights, and then the little grimacing smile here, or grimacing teeth on the bumper, and then the red there. And then on the spoiler, we have Cowabunga. So really kind of cool. These were kind of painstaking, by the way. You do have turtles inside. As you can see, there's passengers in there. There's actually 2 back here. By the way, they don't really sit all that well. They're kind of loose in there. You can see, even if you get them pegged in, they do have a peg, but they just don't stay. So I would pick a set, pick which set you want, because obviously they also can be put inside the turtles as drivers. And my personal preference, I believe that the green ones make more sense as driver. And you can see I'm just fumbling with this now. Here's the translucent one. This one doesn't have any decals, but it has painted headlights. It looks very cool. You can kind of see through it, see the parts inside. We obviously have the drivers as well. You can see the little passengers. And if we take this one apart, you can see, again, we've got them in there. Now, my recommendation is pick the set. I'm going to take these out because I think Carl said he's going to use the translucent ones. So, final recommendations on the HeatBoys TMNT Mecha Donatello. This thing is outstanding. I'm going to say 5 out of 5. Strong recommendation. This is probably one of the best figures I've looked at all year. It really stands out. And it's because it has so much versatility. You have so many accessories, so many different ways to display those accessories. I love that the guns combine into a super gun. I love that they have this option to light up. I mean, it's just so cool. I'm going to turn it off just so we're not wasting the batteries. But very, very cool option there. Love the little armatures. I didn't think I liked those in the pictures, but now that I have it here in front of me, I just think it's just another cool little thing. Everything can display on him. You don't really need to set something aside because you can put all the weapons mounted on him, or if you don't want to, put it in the little, display base. And that's something that I really love. I love weapon storage, and this thing has it in spades. You can also store weapons on different parts, on the waist, on the legs, on the arms, on the backpack. There's just so many options. I do also like and appreciate the little Build-A-Figure turtle vans. They're simple. They don't really do much, but I just think they're really neat and just a fun reward for buying all 4. So if you are a fan of turtles or you just like cool mechas, I think this one is probably the best figure I've looked at all of this year in terms of action figures, and maybe even best action figure ever. It's very quite possible. Thanks to Carl S. for letting me take a look at his copy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.